A VA nurse who dedicated his life to caring for American veterans, a community protest, a fatal shooting. Tonight, we examine who Alex Pretti was and why his death has sparked outrage across Minneapolis and the nation. Alex Jeffrey Pretti was a 37-year-old ICU nurse at the Minneapolis VA healthcare system. His colleagues describe him as someone who put patients at ease with humor and compassion. He was a kind-hearted soul who cared deeply for his family, friends, and the American veterans he served. A University of Minnesota graduate, Pretti first worked as a research scientist before pursuing nursing. He was an avid cyclist, outdoorsman, and by all accounts, a quiet neighbor who wanted to make a difference. On Saturday morning, January 24th, at approximately 9 a.m., Pretti joined protesters at the intersection of 26th Street and Nicollet Avenue in South Minneapolis. They were opposing federal immigration enforcement operations. What happened next has become the center of intense dispute. Federal officials claim Pretti approached Border Patrol agents with a loaded handgun and violently resisted disarmament efforts. White House advisor Stephen Miller called him a domestic terrorist. But multiple verified videos tell a different story. They show Pretti holding what appears to be a phone in his right hand, his left hand raised, before being pepper sprayed and shot. Pretti was a legal gun owner with a permit. He had no criminal record. This was the third federal shooting in Minneapolis in 17 days. The shooting sparked immediate protests. Over 100 people gathered at the scene within an hour. Federal agents deployed tear gas and stun grenades. Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara made a striking statement. His department recovered 900 guns and arrested hundreds of violent offenders last year without shooting anyone. People have had enough. A federal judge granted a restraining order against the Department of Homeland Security, preventing the destruction of evidence. Minnesota officials demanded state investigators be allowed access to the crime scene. Access federal agents initially blocked. Alex Pretti's family says they still haven't heard from federal law enforcement about their son's death. In a statement, they rejected the administration's account, calling the claims about their son sickening lies. This is now the second fatal shooting of a U.S. citizen by federal agents in Minneapolis this month, raising urgent questions about enforcement tactics, accountability, and what happens next.